Hey gamers, what's up? So, I've been getting asked a lot of questions over the past few months about my video game collection videos that I put up. People asking, how do certain games fit in these cases? How come my covers look different? How do I get this to fit in there? So, I just wanted to address all of the most common problems in this video and questions. So let me just go ahead and clear all this off and, well, let's get started. So a common question I get with these cases, these are universal game cases, by the way. I've talked about them before. They're really great. They can pretty much be modified to hold cartridges for any older console. But a lot of people, when they actually buy these from the website, which I can't remember the name of it now, but I'll put it in the description, of course. When they get it from the website, they try to put their NES games in here and they don't fit. Well, I'll show you first how I've done it. As you can see, when you take it out, all right along here, you can see I've cut a lot of the plastic out that holds the games in. I've only left just a bar here, and I had to cut a lot of the plastic here, like only leave the little things that that these things go into. And it's a little bit of work. Some tools I would advise you getting. Stop by like a Sears or something. These are Craftsman something. I think they're called end nippers, and they're kind of just a flat tweezer thing, and also just a standard razor blade. Be very, very careful when you're doing this, because you could easily, I slit my finger open and could not get myself to stop bleeding, so be very careful if you're going to modify these cases. The next one, here is the NES Game Genie. Here's also the Super Nintendo Game Genie. So, the problems with the Game Genies are, they're all weird shapes, always. The NES Game Genie, people have asked me how it fits into one of these. It's kind of a little barbaric, I guess, but all I did was, normally the Game Genie plastic goes like this. I just bent it back, and you can lay it in there like this if you just cut out a little bit of plastic. It's just a little piece of plastic. It's not like it's a vital organ of the Game Genie, so don't worry about breaking it or anything. Now the Super Nintendo Game Genie, getting it to fit in here is a serious bitch. I don't even know why they had a cover for it online at the cover project, but it is a piece of work. I had to modify the entire cartridge, basically. Aside from cutting out all this plastic. Apparently I left that in. But what I had to do was, normally there's a big, thick piece of plastic that goes all along right here. I just took a buzzsaw and sawed it right off. And now it lays in there just fine. And I think I might have had to break these joints, maybe, in order to push it in, or something. I don't know what I did, honestly, but it involves modifying the cartridge. So if you want to undertake that, all you're doing is cutting plastic, so once again, you're not hurting anything vital, but it is a job to do. Next, I'll just show you guys Super Nintendo games. The universal game cases are made to fit in here, so they just go in there just like that, or turned around the other way, doesn't matter. And when you close it up, it moves a little bit, whatever. Nintendo 64 is also made for this in the background, so you can kind of tell if you look at it. I don't know if you can see, if I can reflect the light off of it, but it's got the shape of a Nintendo 64 cartridge right here. So, you know, you just put it in, and it's great. Next one, Sonic and Knuckles. I passionately hate the case that this game originally came in, because it was cardboard, and all the other Sonic games were this nice Genesis plastic. This is just a regular downloaded cover from the cover project. As you can see, you know, it's exactly like the original box. But the thing is, it normally does not fit into a Genesis box. If you try to put Sonic and Knuckles into the Sonic 3 case, it'll bulge out really far and probably open up by its own. So what you have to do is try and find some old EA Sports Genesis games. For some reason, the EA Sports games, they came in thicker cases. I think this was the PGA Golf 98 game case originally. And just take out the cover and print out a Sonic and Knuckles cover. And you also do have to do a little bit of cutting of the case in order to get it in there. But I mean, it is in there. It does not move. I am so pleased with how this came out. See, all I had to do was just cut off a little tiny bit of plastic here and there and up there. You can see right here, Electronic Arts. I guess it wasn't EA, but whatever. So, I mean, basically you just take the end nippers and you really just put it on and clip. I mean, the plastic breaks right off. It's real easy. So, that's that. Next is Knuckles Chaotix. The 32X games all came in cardboard cases, I think, unless you lived in another country besides the US. There were a couple games that were released in plastic cases. I don't know what they were. But Knuckles Chaotix was a cardboard game release. So all you really have to do, these cartridges aren't too different from the Genesis. This is a regular Sega Genesis plastic case. And you cut out the corners here and here. You just cut out those L shapes. And I mean, it is just barely too big to fit in the original Genesis cartridge. And it just made the plastic bend out. So I just eliminated all the extra plastic and it fits perfectly. Doesn't move. It's all good. Next are cases that I feel passionately against. The Sega CD and Sega Saturn cases. The plastic cases that they originally came in sucked so bad. They're all broken and scratched. You can barely find any of these games in good condition anymore. Because they're huge. They look ridiculous on a shelf. So the cover project provides these really awesome printouts that you can just go ahead. You go online and print them out. I don't remember where I got these empty DVD cases, but you can find them pretty much anywhere on the internet, and they look great. I mean, you really do feel like you have the original game, even when you're not using the original case. Some of these cases are custom sometimes. Like here, my Sega Saturn logo. I did this myself. I don't know where I found this, but I just thought it was really cool image of Sonic and Knuckles, like a swoosh face instead of the Sega Saturn logo. I also have a non-Sonic Sega Saturn game. So I was just going to do that for all my Sonic Saturn games, which is 1 or 2, I don't know. Let's see. Next we have Action Replay. This is another game that came out in a disgusting, ugly cardboard case. Go ahead and open it up. The only thing you really had to modify here was the memory card slot. Just cut that little piece of plastic out and a little bit on top, and you can just slide it right on in there and put it next to your GameCube games like it should be. Here's Super Mario Bros. Wii. The only question I get about this is, why is it white? Well, this is another custom printout case from the cover project, because why in the hell was this originally red? That was such a stupid idea. It just stands out like a sore thumb. I don't get it. Anyway, for the Atari Jaguar, these games are kind of odd the way they fit in here, because, you know, they're not really made to be fit in here. They just kind of flop around, but they're so big, they're so thick that if you just put them in like that and close it, they don't move because they fit in there so tight. So, whatever. Got Atari 2600. These, I believe, are made to fit in the universal game cases, so they just pop right in. They fit very well. And now we have the handheld games. These are fun. Not at all, actually. These are DS game cases. You can pretty much walk into any GameStop and say, hey, do you guys have any empty DS game cases? Because most GameStops now have stopped stocking shelves with actual DS game cases, and they're just putting them like by themselves in their cartridges and those locked cases. So they're just throwing away these perfectly good cases. So just walk into any GameStop and say, hey, I know you guys are going to throw these away. Can I take them? And they'll pretty much all say yes. If not, you can find them on eBay. You know, if you can't find it there, then too bad, I guess. First question I got was about this, the Action Replay. How do you get it to fit in there? It's another cutting job. It's in backwards, but as you can see, I just took this tool and cut out all this piece. And that's pretty much what you have to do for most of these game cases. Here's Virtual Boy. These, I just cut out the entire section of this square that holds in the DS game, and it fits right in there. We have Game Gear games. These are a bit of work as well, because they're pretty big. So cut out that shape and that, and try to cut it to where you leave a little bit of edge going out that way, so you can hook the edge on the cartridge. I'm doing it the wrong way. I'm trying to look through the camera, so this is hard. So it doesn't really move around too much. Sometimes you can get it, sometimes you can't. You know, it's whatever. And Neo Geo Pocket Color games. I forgot how I did this. Oh, I guess I didn't do anything. It was just sitting up here. These are one of these stupid... I cannot even explain how much I hate how game companies are doing this now. With Xbox games and everything. They're going green. They're really just saving money is all they're doing. So I probably just need to cut this and put it somewhere, but since they left out the Game Boy Advance slot, in this case apparently, I just put it here. It moves, whatever.